Today on Skorne's Lair, we're talking about more gig per game, more updates than your Amazon package, live service games. Is it good for the industry, or is it going to put it on life support? Grab that high-capacity SSD and the optional popcorn DLC as we discuss our thoughts on this topic. I'm Scumbag Steve. That's Dirtbag Dewey. Welcome.
Hello, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome all. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for paying attention to our wonderful podcast here, who's still getting its legs off the ground. So, live service gaming. I'm gonna say that you and I probably aren't the biggest fans of
I've
this.
got one or two maybe games that I have played.
I
a lot.
mean, I play a lot of them. At least check them out.
You know,
I don't know that.
it's hard not to. They're so mainstream.
Right, exactly. Like our modern AAA releases are turning into game as a service. You know, like you have to check them out at least, because that is. I mean, it's the reason we're doing this podcast, because a lot of it is the future of where the game industry is going.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think we take a pause though and do some news quick. There's plenty of news actually. We actually paid attention this week for once.
Yeah, a couple I'm actually excited about too.
Okay, why don't we go for it?
Let me pull it up just so we have Casper going on me.
Right.
So we'll save that one. That's more related. So Nickelodeon is working with another developer, and they're making a Super Smash Brothers like. It's called Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and it has the All-Star cast from Danny Phantom, SpongeBob. I saw Reptars in there from the Rugrats.
That's awesome.
It's going to be a legit fighting game in the style of Super Smash Bros., where your goal is to get them off the stage.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think that sounds cool, man. It's got Invader Zim in it, too. TMNT. They are owned by Nickelodeon now.
Yeah. Yeah. They have them for a while.
I think it's a great idea.
I agree. I mean, it's the next Smash. Yeah. It's a clone,
it's not ever going to replace Smash, but
no, but it's the next clone of Smash.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun.
Me too. Yeah. Let's see. We got.
Talk about DLC. We're talking about Smash here.
Right.
Nickelodeon's definitely going to have DLC.
Yeah, I wonder if they do. I mean, if it's popular, I'm sure they.
I would call that a live service game as well.
Yeah.
In some aspect of it.
If it's successful, I believe they will try and make it a live service kind of game.
How long till Cartoon Network, the Turner Broadcasting Network, they decide to make one, or Disney's would be cool because they could bring in Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'd be down with
beating the crap out of what's a Disney show that we used to love?
Miranda Cosgrove and iCarly. I don't know. Like, what do we?
I was thinking more animated, but
yeah, I know. I just mean most of their stuff was like
that was Nickelodeon.
That was Nickelodeon, wasn't it? Disney was
Gargoyles. I remember that.
Was that Disney?
I think it was.
I was watching.
They had the dragon kid that could turn into a dragon.
Okay.
Totally off topic, but.
Well, speaking of though, I watched that new Space Jam movie.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and it's kind of cool at the end of it. They during the basketball game. It's not really it's kind of a spoiler. It's just kind of cool. It's not really a spoiler. It doesn't really have any story affection or consequences. They bring a bunch of people to the basketball court, and it's like King Kong and all the old Tim Burton Batman characters like Penguin and the Joker from back then and
all Warner Brothers stuff.
Yeah, all the Warner Brothers characters and stuff are the things surrounding the basketball court. And I thought that was cool. Like they brought in like the Game of Thrones guys.
Wow.
like all that kind of stuff.
I'll have to see the scene at very least if I don't watch the movie.
Yeah, I'll put a clip of it here, just something.
Okay.
Yeah, small. I can do
Yeah.
that. It's funny. It's pretty funny. I'll at least put a screenshot of King
That
Kong
might be
and
better than.
the Iron Giant fist bumping.
Okay. I
Because
don't know how bad Warner Brothers will drop the hammer or not.
right, they this, I thought it was cool. Yeah, that they brought in all their uh characters, are a large amount of them, ones that I forgot about too. Anyway,
So
moving on.
Sony and Naughty Dog are making the Last of Us TV show.
Yes, with on HBO.
Apparently,
Speaking of
they
Warner
have
Brothers.
a fucking budget.
Okay, yeah, that's what this article is saying here. That it leaked.
The project well exceeds the 8-figure per episode mark.
Apparently, the production budget is one of the highest in the industry right now.
Yeah, but with all the shit movies and TV shows based off video games.
Yeah, but HBO is kind of different, right? Like everything that comes from HBO is well, most of the things that come from HBO is top notch. Yeah, it's more of a Warner Brothers. I mean, I know that Warner Brothers is HBO, but you know what I mean? Like I specifically mean the HBO TV shows like Game of Thrones or Game of Thrones. And no, there's tons of good ones. I just can't think of them on the top of my head because I don't really watch them. I don't watch Game of Thrones either. But the VFX that are in them, like the budget for VFX is insane. It's so good, and there's so much detail put into those movies and those TV shows. I mean, and so I'm excited to see where they go with this. The zombie effects will probably be really good. I don't know much about it. Like I don't know if it's following our main protagonist, whatever their name is again. I can't remember. Ellie, right? Is that her name? I don't know.
I think so.
And then
I was never really a big fan of The Last of Us.
I didn't check it out ever. Just other friends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing it through them.
I have another one from PlayStation as well.
Okay.
This is a big one, and I'm gonna have to go check this out. I'm not currently a subscriber, but this is worth a resubscription. PlayStation Plus subscribers between PS4 and PS5 can currently download not one, not two, but 24 different games this month.
24 PS4,
PS3. Free if you are a subscriber to PlayStation Plus games.
Yeah, on the PS4 and PS5.
Mm-hmm. Games include, are you ready for this? Persona 5, A Plague Tale Innocence, God of War, The Walking Simulator, The Last Guardian, Fallout 4, Detroit Become Human, Until Dawn, Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown Edition, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Bloodborne, love me some Bloodborne, Monster Hunter World, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, Final Fantasy 15, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Days Gone, Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
This is a list.
Batman Arkham Knight.
Wow.
Infamous Second Son. The Last of Us Remastered. Ratchet and Clank. WWE 2K Battlegrounds. Mortal Kombat X. Battlefield 1. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Talk about live service fucking 700 gigabyte game. That's it. That's all 24.
Black Ops 4 though, right? But yeah, so
3 and 4 are on there. I thought I saw.
That's insane. I think last month was the game of or they had already announced Black Ops 4 was coming or something. 3 maybe it was. But
what a deal!
Yeah, that's good. So those part of the PlayStation Plus games? Like you own those games once you download them,
as long as you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber.
See, like all the games I own, I have. I don't think I have. I think you maybe not. I don't remember. Anyway, that's a lot. That's a good deal. That's cool. If you're a PlayStation Plus member and you have a PS4 or PS5, I would check those out. At least grab some of them.
There is not even one of those games in that you're like.
At least add them to your library. Yeah.
Yeah. What a collection.
Totally.
Are they trying to compete with Game Pass with this? Because like, oh my god, you're on the right track.
Yeah, those are that's the kind of games you need.
Yeah, that's insane, dude.
So what about here? We have the issues with the Steam Deck. The
Mm,
the question over its cheat protection, how it'll handle cheat protection software, and how it's probably not going to run a lot of these games. Um,
right.
due to the way that a lot of these games search for cheats. Um,
I mean, it's basically a PC compatible Switch.
yeah, I mean it is. It's a PC. They've even said
It is a
underneath
PC. Yeah,
it's just like basically just a Steam operating system, and you could even install Windows on it without breaking it if you want, without even
right.
voiding the warranty, which is cool.
Uh, yeah, I think it's amazing. I'll probably get one. I don't know if I'm going to get it at the $700 price point because SD cards are a thing, but
Well, storage speed is also a thing too.
storage speed.
If you want it to load that instantly, the M.2s that have on there.
That's going to be great for emulation.
Yes, yeah, it is. I was actually thinking about it for that reason. I was like, oh, to
Yeah,
have everything up through like, you could probably emulate even like, you could definitely do Wii. You could probably do like
I
PS3 on it.
I
If
think you can
I
get
mean
a
the emulators
PS4
are
with it.
kind of lacking behind. Yeah, but the emulators are just lagging on that
Yeah,
still. We're not there yet.
but uh, $700 for 500 gig NVMe
I
SSD.
mean, it's a beautiful machine and it's fast.
Well, the controllers are a bit wonky.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's a little
It looks cool.
bulky, but the battery life is pretty short too. That's the other,
Mm.
not but it yeah, it's a little bit short on. It's like 4 hours if you're playing something without that's not very intensive, but if you're like gaming intensively, it's like 2 hours.
You don't want to plug that thing in.
Yeah, it does have a dock, but it's sold separately. Um, so that's interesting. And I did look at the dock. I like the look of it. It's got good good IO ports. Um, but it's sold separately, which is a surprise. At least
Right.
I would at least include it. Man, maybe not with the lowest model, but most of those models I would include it with.
Well, with something like this, how do you? The controllers are on it. It's like the Switch Lite. You can't.
It's probably got Bluetooth in it. I didn't look, but
I'm sure it does.
and if not, it does have USB ports on it because you can
The
connect other
dock does.
controllers.
Yeah.
No, I don't even think docked. I think it has USB ports on it.
There's a USB C.
Yeah, I know that it allows you to connect external controllers, technically.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it is
Yeah.
through the dock or not.
Okay. Maybe.
So because it's they talk about how it allows you to do multiplayer, local multiplayer.
Sure.
So I wouldn't mind having it. I'd play a lot of the games I have, all the Assassin's Creed games, to have them mobily, especially when I have like a spotlight color or something. To have like the Switch is great, but if I could have my entire Steam, well, okay, if I could have 80% of my Steam library with me, if I could play like Fallen Order, they showcase Fallen Order playing on it
Yeah.
just fine.
Right.
And like the people who have already had it, like the media guys who've already had it, say that it's like they've played the games that they showcase on it, and it runs beautifully. Like it plays smoothly on max settings. So, um, if I can play Odyssey on max settings, I'd play Odyssey. I'd play 70. I don't know if like 77 on low settings would run fine. You know, like
Probably play Doom Eternal myself.
Doom Eternal would be great. Doom the original, the remake, I guess, but you know what I mean. Like, but
Doom 2016. Yeah.
yeah, Doom 2016 would probably be a fun game to play. And even just install Linux or Windows on it and turn it into an emulating machine. And I'll bring my GameCube library and my Wii library and my my whatever library. If I can install Game Pass on it, you know,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
If I can install Windows, I should have access to Game Pass. If it
Right.
recognizes the controllers as an input device, then I should be able to control the games with the controllers. If not, connect
It's time for Nintendo to step up, figure out what they're going to do.
it is definitely like it seems like it was supposed to be competing with the Switch Pro, whatever that was going to be, and then the Switch was nothing like that. This new OLED model was nothing like this isn't even in competition for
this
it. Like,
is going to
this thing
destroy
is
the
powerful.
Switch.
But this, like we said, this thing is also more of a PC. It's not trying to be what the Switch is trying to be. It is, but it's trying to be the ultimate version of what the Switch is trying to be. The Switch is trying to be like this.
Well, you're way out of the price point too for the top model.
$399 is the low model.
Yeah,
I think,
and you're gonna fill that thing up in an hour.
But like you said, you could have 5, 6 SD cards that you just bring SD cards around with you. This one has A through E. This one has F through whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
And then, you install those. Or who knows what kind of mods are going to come from this, right? Like if it's a PC, mod a hub on it so I can have like 6 or like an external hard drive plugged into it, or 6 SD card slots so that like it, I doubt that would be very fast because it would still be, anyway,
still running off its chip.
But. Yeah, it would still pull at the same speed it pulls from one, but
AMD chip.
AMD video, yeah, and both CPU and GPU.
Zen 2. Looks great. We'll see.
I think it looks good. I wanted to pre-order one. I just bought it Series X. So
we'll see when it officially hits the market what it does.
Yeah. If I hadn't bought the Series X, I probably would have bought one.
Yeah, right.
It would be like great for work, doing like spotlight calls or being backstage during show calls. Now that live events are starting to come back.
Right.
It'd be, sit in the office while I'm waiting for my call.
Surely there will be extended batteries that plug onto the back.
Yeah. I'm sure accessories, third-party accessories are going to come. Mods. This is a console that I think the mod scene needs to get a hold of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, surely.
Yeah. But have you seen the scalping of it already? It's been out when this video comes out, it will have been out for like a week. So let's just say we're filming this on Saturday. So the console's been out for like 3 days, I think.
It's already sold out.
I know you can still reserve an order if you want. It's not the easiest thing to do, but you can get through. But it's already being scalped.
But here's the thing, man, and just stop paying the prices.
Yeah, people are buying them. I saw that people paid for the large model. Some people are paying like $1,400 for the 512 gigabyte one on eBay.
No reason for that.
And it's not even launching until Q3, I think. Q3 is when that one's coming out. The smaller two, the base model and the one with the M.2 is launching Q2. They don't have an actual date, but
you know what I'll probably do? I'll probably wait till some asshole realizes they spent way too much money on this thing that they don't want. And then they'll either sell it on, I don't know, a marketplace or a pawn shop, and I'm going to get it for half off.
Yeah. Still going
to reformat it.
But
yeah.
At a pawn shop, they might not know what they have.
True.
And
they could think it's a knockoff Chinese Switch.
Or like even if they thought it was a Switch, you might be able to get it for like 150, 100, right? Because if they think it's just like a Switch kind of device.
Yeah, it depends on the mom and pop. Probably won't get it at one of the bigger chains, but
I want one. I won't say I don't.
I'll probably get one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I want a PS5 plenty of devices that I picked up that I don't use whatsoever, like my Rift S. But I want one.
I think my reason for wanting it is I would use it more than I use my Switch.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I mean, my Switch is definitely getting some love.
Yeah, right. You just started playing
my modern pick of the week. I just got.
I mean, sure. You said it. You said the words. So we have to do it.
I'm not going to say much about this game because
I realize we haven't been very auditory lately for our audio listeners. Which game are you playing? Holding up in the air right now?
Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD for the Nintendo Switch that just launched yesterday.
Right.
Friday 16th. And it's been a really good time so far. I put 9 hours into it
Okay.
already.
I know you're working on a review for it, but what are your base opinions? Your first opinions, the first thoughts.
This makes me love motion controls.
Really? I'm surprised.
And I love the Nintendo version of non-motion in the controller controls too. Within this game, I've been playing with the Pro controller because obviously going to play the fucking Pro controller. You use your thumbstick to slash your sword in the direction that you want it to go in.
Okay.
I mean,
That's kinda cool.
you still only have 8 points to, do it without using the Joy-Con. But it's amazing. I love it. It adds a lot to the gameplay. And I played the one on the Wii. I haven't beat the one on the Wii. I'm going to beat the one on the Switch.
I feel like it's probably a lot easier to play, right?
It's a lot more pleasant to play. That is for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there will be a personal review, not like a professional review coming out for this game for me. I'm not ever going to do the commercial.
Yeah.
Go buy this game because this, and this, and no, you're
just
going to
do
give
a
my honest
critical
opinion.
review. Yeah, just do a critical review.
Not sponsored.
I'm gonna interrupt this segment with another segment that we haven't done in a while that I think we should bring back.
Okay.
What did we call it again? Oh shoot.
You tell me what you want to do, and I'm sure I remember.
Replay and stay away.
Replay or stay away. Okay.
Do you think people should replay Skyward Sword, or do you think they should stay away from now?
Play it on this.
Play it on Switch.
Play it on Switch. I've
So
got
you
the
would
Wii one back
you
there.
would rather
Play it on
than
Switch.
play the remake than play the original?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
There are a couple things added to this too that I'm not going to discuss right now. That'll all be in my video.
Yeah.
Which I promise will come out soon-ish.
I swear. We'll make sure that happens. Yeah. Work's picking back up, but we're hustling. We're gonna do both.
Yep.
So my modern pick of the week. I tried to pick something that is pretty live service. I don't know that if we've covered this on modern pick of the week. We've definitely talked about this game before.
Okay.
But No Man's Sky.
Sure.
I mean, it started off crappy, and people say it's not that modern. I mean, but it is modern because they have kept up with it. They release updates at least yearly, if not every 6 months. Major updates.
They've had a ton in the last 6 months, dude.
Yeah, and they do really good on these updates. They have turned this game. I mean, you know this by now, that this game has come out of its awfulness and is now A-okay. Yeah, it's got respect now. It still can be boring if you're playing alone. I will say that. But playing with a couple friends, or like having a goal, an actual like mission in mind, self-mission, not like the game's not going to provide you with too much as far as goals and stuff like that. But if you're a creative person, or you like exploring in games, or I don't know, I find the resource hunting, building, crafting, like that. This game
that is so much.
Yeah. The fleet management is really cool. I was actually just for a point like that, that's actually really fun for me, because like I was just playing Assassin's Creed 3 earlier, and like I forgot how much fun the contract part of it is, like where you get a group of assassins that you have to liberate areas to unlock, and then you can send them on contracts to complete missions to help liberate like entire states. So like you want to liberate Massachusetts or whatever,
right.
Like, and so like this game has a little bit of that with their fleet management, where like you get the different fleets, and then you can send different portions or different ships off to complete political or economical or mining missions to help you get supplies, money, it's definitely come a long way.
It has.
It definitely has come a long way.
Absolutely has. So,
all right.
Before I move on to my last piece of news,
okay.
Did you want to keep going with replay or stay away, or was that just the one game?
that was just the one game, really, unless you have other games in mind. Like,
I
go
didn't know if
ahead.
you wanted to run me through the Legend of Zelda list or not.
I'm not prepared. Let's go. Let's go.
Just gonna pull
Let me get a list of Legend of Zelda games up. And we will
I have
go
played
through this.
almost every single Legend of Zelda game from start to finish, just so you are aware.
Yes. Yes, I'm aware. Don't worry.
And anyone listening. It's by far my favorite Nintendo franchise.
We're gonna go through every single game.
Close to Pokemon.
All right. I want you to say also your favorite part and your least favorite part of every one of these games.
Okay.
If you don't remember, that's fine.
Okay.
The Legend of Zelda 1986.
The original.
Yeah.
Absolute classic. One thing that I'm glad has changed is how much screen and RAM has changed, because normally when you walk across, you would have to load another section, and then you'd be able to continue. You wouldn't exactly know where you're going until you've been all the way around the square.
Okay, yeah, right.
Both my favorite and least favorite, obviously replay. My favorite and least favorite thing is how well things are hidden, because it's fucking terrible to find things.
Okay.
But it's also amazing when you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a really satisfying feel when you discover things in that game. Now, my question, quick question, is: would you recommend them play it on the NES, or would you recommend them play one of the remasters, like on the DS, or play it like on the Switch on like the classic store, or what?
The NES remix was pretty good, but on the Switch Online, not sponsored,
we do recommend it a lot.
there are save states.
That's fair. Okay.
You don't
Zelda
have to keep
2,
your console on all night
right,
for 36 days.
What about Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link?
I personally am going to stay away.
Okay.
I don't like the side scrolling.
Right, okay.
It's, yeah.
Is there anything about the game you liked?
The text-based narration, I want to say, was pretty good in that one.
Okay.
But the characters you meet, it's more in depth. It's not just, hey, go fetch me this piece of crap. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and now I'm also going to include, would you rather them replay the original, or at the same time, after you answer that, would you recommend them play the remake over the remasters?
You absolutely need to play A Link to the Past, but if you're going to play it on the Switch, grab one of these.
Okay.
Absolutely grab. I love how it's always in arm's reach too when we do something like this.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Always, man. Yeah, that's a great game. Probably, yeah, my favorite bit game by far.
Okay. Now, would you recommend them play the original, or would you say that it's okay to skip the original and play the remake that just came out like a year ago?
That's actually Link's Awakening. That's the Game Boy game.
Right. Okay. I thought. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you have to play the original.
I apologize. Don't hurt me, Zelda fans.
Yeah, right. You're fine.
Yeah. So I guess then Link's Awakening.
Play the remake.
1993.
The remake with the new cell shading. It's a bit jarring at first, but they added in like the dungeon maker, stuff like that. So the remake's definitely a better way to play that. Also, you don't have to play it in green.
Okay. Yeah.
The awful original Game Boy green.
Yeah. Did they ever do like a
They remade it for the color. They call it like DX. Yeah.
So let's move to the 64 then, Ocarina of Time.
I fucking hate Ocarina of Time. That is Ocarina of Time, yeah.
That's the obvious one, right?
Let's lump the 3DS into that too. Both versions are fantastic.
Yeah.
Along with Master Quest, fantastic. I will not recommend any other N64 game more than I will Ocarina of Time if you're an RPG fan.
Okay. I've
3 point.
I've played that game a lot.
I want to own the Switch.
Never beat it, but I've emulated it so much on top of trying to play it on the 64 and my phone and the Switch, and I love it. Yeah, I love that thing. Place the tune. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to play it.
That would be very loud in this microphone, sir.
Yeah. Why, man? It's called volume. Turn it down.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. PS, Nintendo, please put the N64 on Nintendo Online so we can play Ocarina of Time on the Switch.
Or the Game Boy. Take one or the other right now.
Yeah, that's fair, but
we want 64.
Yeah. Now I know you love this one, Majora's Mask. Oh wait, pause, rewind. Least favorite thing about Ocarina of Time.
Dobby.
Yeah. Annoying.
Hey, listen.
Okay.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, it's a little annoying.
Yeah, it's
Favorite
iconic though.
It is.
Favorite thing. Epona. Horseback riding, shooting a bow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, moving to your favorite, Majora's Mask.
Shadow Ganondorf. I go back. Shadow Ganondorf is fucking sick.
Okay. Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot. It's really cool. Majora's Mask, 2000. What's your opinion?
Majora's Mask? Never heard of it. I think that Skull Kid is really cool. Okay. I think that the idea was really cool. I think the moon is iconic. I love Young Link. Fucking hate Majora's Mask.
You hate like the mask?
I hate the game. I love the mask. Skull Kid's mask is great. All the mask mechanics in that game are cool. That is a cool concept. But the race on the clock, and I've talked about this before, I'm going to scratch this broken record a little bit more. The fact that you can go in a dungeon and you have to micromanage your schedule so drastically, you can just lose all progress in the dungeon and reset you back to zero. Like that.
Okay.
And that's annoying to me. Legend of Zelda is about exploration. It's literally in a tagline of every single game. If you want to look around the dungeon, you have to go in there on day one. Otherwise, you need to know what you're doing, and I don't want to look up a guide. I don't want to do it.
I mean, it's not your style of gameplay, not to use walkthroughs. Like, you love the idea of figuring it out. And
I like game walls.
And there's also the satisfaction of figuring it out on your own, right? Like solving the puzzle without any help. Because some of these puzzles are really hard, especially in some of these Zelda dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're tough. Especially water levels when it comes to like Ocarina of Time. We all know.
The water temple. Shadow temple.
We all know. Shadow temple. Okay, let's go on. Let's move on. Let's not stick around too long on each one of these. Oracle of Seasons. Did you play that on the Game Boy Color?
I did. Yeah, I did. That was a great game.
Okay.
That's more in the aspect of Link to the Past than SNES. Wait, you said Oracle of Seasons GBA, right?
Yeah. GBC. Game Boy Color.
I have not played
Oracle of
Oracle of Seasons.
Okay.
I have not played Oracle of Seasons.
Okay, well, clip art here. Or title, or the cover art here. If you want to check out the game, we don't have an opinion.
I need to check that out too.
So then we move on to the next year, Game Boy Color again. Our same year, actually. Oracle of Ages.
I don't remember if those were Bandai or not, or if that was a GBA. But I did not play either Oracle of Seasons or Oracle of Ages.
It looks like they were. Of course, it's not. It's Nintendo, developed by Flagship and Capcom.
Capcom, that's it. Capcom wasn't Bandai.
And then, yeah, Flagship is the main developer, though.
Right.
Okay. So
I'm sure they're great games. I haven't played them.
If we move on to the game you were probably thinking of for the Game Boy Advance, 2002, A Link to the Past and Four Swords.
I played Four Swords on the GameCube.
Okay.
That's another great game. I recommend
that's
that.
Four Swords Adventures. This is.
Yes. Yeah, but it has compatibility. You can plug it into the GameCube and use it as a controller. And
That's cool.
there was even an E card reader for the Game Boy Advance. You could swipe stuff into the game. The Amiibo before the Amiibo.
We'll keep moving on then to a game I know you played a little bit more of, Wind Waker's.
Yeah, I played Wind Waker. I played the original. I never played the Wii U version.
Favorite part of the game?
Boss fight. I won't say any more than that. Final boss fight.
If you know, you know.
Sailing around was dope too.
Okay. Anything you didn't like about the game?
I hated the reaction that people gave to the game on a personal level.
Okay.
Just because
So
it
more-
looked different.
Yeah, more of the criticism from the
Yeah.
gamers than.
And now everybody loves it. Now it's
it's cult classic almost.
Yeah. But back then people were like, nah, my fucking Zelda.
So replay?
Yeah, absolutely replay. They need to bring that to the Switch too. There's no reason they can't port it over from the Wii U.
So then let's move on to Four Swords now. Four Swords Adventures. This is the GameCube, right?
Right.
Is this a replay or stay away?
That's a replay. That is a retelling of Link to the Past with 4 links from different times.
Oh, okay.
All
So
in
it kind
different
of
tunics.
breaks down the lore a little bit more of how every Link is just like a reincarnation. Like how they connect the
most part.
storyline, right? How like technically Link is doing the same thing in every one of these games. He's
For
just
the
a different
most
version
part.
of Link.
Wind Waker, Spirit Tracks, and Time Hourglass, whatever, they are in a different universe.
Okay.
And like the Skyward Sword Link, he is the Link in Breath of the Wild. He's just frozen in time.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, all the other links are from different time periods, but not different timelines jumped off. That makes sense.
Yeah, totally. We'll have to do an episode. We've got like game episodes coming on. Our next one, well, we might do one before this because I kind of am busy in research as I love the series, but we want to do Assassin's Creed. We should do Zelda too because you obviously are very passionate about Zelda.
I've got a lot
So
of
you could bring a
knowledge.
lot to that, yeah. And I just love the lore of Zelda in like the different games. So, oh, you gonna show off the new poster?
I think I have to.
Yeah, go ahead. And then we keep going because we're only like halfway there.
So you
The
can't
thing
see it
is
on
cool.
camera, but Link actually is popped out in 3D.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You got me one too, right?
Yeah, I wish I could have. All right,
Yeah, I should have.
I got you one of those other ones.
Yeah, no, I have it sitting here. I gotta hang it up still.
Yeah, very cool. This guy's an asshole.
I like the sword in the background.
Yeah, that's so. Skyward Sword, for anybody that doesn't know, is the crafting of the Master Sword.
Yeah.
The origin of it.
Quick note. What is the back side of that? Is it interesting?
It is completely white.
Oh wow, that's a first. Oh, GameStop
Yeah.
always does the two-sided.
Right.
All right. Moving on. We're like only halfway through. We have The Legend of Zelda, the Minish Cap for Game Boy Advance.
That's what I was thinking of. Minish Cap.
Okay. Something you loved about the game.
Its take back onto the SNES style graphics.
Okay.
After playing Wind Waker and all that stuff.
What about least favorite, or something you didn't like at least?
Man, that's hard.
I love the crickets in the background. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it in the final.
Yeah, I don't know. You got crickets over
But-
there.
But when you pause,
dead
it
air, it's
just
just crickets.
chirp.
Yeah, right. I don't know what I could say up to that one. I love the environments. I love the music. I don't think I have a gripe about that game.
Okay. So that's a replay then.
Yeah, absolutely replay.
I know
Anything on the
nothing
Game
about
Boy
this.
Advance.
Yeah. I know nothing about this game. I don't know if you do either. Freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee.
Bingo, the
Yeah, little
spin-off game. I haven't played it, but I know about it.
Okay. Any opinions?
He's the little green gnome in the onesie. Yeah. I don't
Any
know anything
opinions
about
for
it.
our listeners? Okay.
I'm gonna play it. You should too.
Okay.
Now that it's
Twilight
brought back to
Princess.
my attention, it's top to the front of my
Yeah,
brain.
right, we gotta at least play it.
Yeah.
Twilight Princess.
Oh man, Twilight Princess. I don't think I've ever. Twilight Princess is the best fucking game on the GameCube, other than Dark Legacy.
Yeah. If you
Twilight
ask
Princess-
me, Ocarina of Time is still the best game on the GameCube. I know it's a 64 game, but because it was released on the
It is on the
GameCube,
GameCube.
I gotta
It is
say
the
it.
best game that Nintendo
Came out.
released
Yeah.
for the Wii, GameCube dual release.
Okay.
And
Favorite thing?
is the dark overtone of the game.
It is very dark. I love the
yeah.
wolf.
And the wolf is sick. And Midnight is sick. I wish Midnight would come to Smash.
Okay. Least?
The damn monkeys.
I know nothing of what you're talking about.
The damn monkeys.
I already
If you know,
know
you
you.
know.
Then that's a replay.
That's a replay for sure.
Copy that.
I do know that on the Wii U version, there's added content where there's a dungeon that you can delve as far down as you can with the amiibo, and you can level up the wolf, and then later on bring that wolf into Breath of the Wild on the Switch, and it'll follow you around and kill stuff for you.
Okay. That's cool.
I need to get a Wii U still.
I want one.
I never picked it up. I'm sorry, Nintendo. I
Next
failed
time you find one on a garage sale.
Yeah, right. If I ever do.
Tingle's Balloon Fight, the DS for fans, because I know you haven't played that one. Then we have Phantom Hourglass.
That's the most thing of Phantom Hourglass. That is in the style of Wind Waker.
Yes.
Same timeline. That and Spirit
Kind of,
Tracks,
at least.
I have not played. I will when I get my hands on it.
Okay. Link's Crossbow Training. Don't know. I'm guessing a Wii
I've got that
game.
one. Yep, I've got that one. Wii game.
Yeah.
Great
Okay.
motion controls. Came with the Zapper. Great
Is
game.
it more of just like a shooting, like a?
It's a shooting gallery. Replay.
There's a lot of these Tingle games. I didn't realize. The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks.
That's also one of those that on the DS I haven't played.
Okay. We have Ocarina of Time for 3DS, or for 3D. Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword on the Wii was great. Motion controls were lacking on the Wii for that game, and it put a lot of people off.
Yeah.
But soundtrack, atmosphere, all that wonderful Zelda game.
But we've already talked about it, so if you were going to replay it, you'd replay it on the Switch with this new.
I will replay it on my Switch. Which I am.
What about the HD version over the original?
What about it?
Like, would you, like, if you had, like, the two games sitting in front of you at a pawn shop, HD and the original, which one would you recommend?
Well, this is the HD.
No, there's a, well, okay, according to this, there is a Wind Waker. Where'd it go?
Oh, Wind Waker HD, and yeah, those are on the Wii U.
UEU. Okay.
Yeah, I recommend on the Wii U probably. Even though, yeah, because they have bonus content. I'd recommend them on the Wii U.
All right. A Link Between Worlds.
That's another one for 3DS that I haven't played.
2013.
Yeah, that's one with 3DS I haven't played.
Yep.
Wait, I think I might have. That one is the one all about art.
Kind of looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, I have played that. That's a great game too. That's got like Ganon's sister or something in it as the main antagonist. I haven't beat it yet. I need to go back and play it. Thank you for reminding me.
Right, of course. That's what I'm here for, is to go through a list of games that Google created.
I'm going to set my 3DS in front of me, and I will not forget.
Okay, well, have you played the Majora Mask 3D remake?
I have.
Good.
And I also have an unopened copy that's going to remain unopened.
Replay. That one's
I'm
more
not
just
going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going.
Did you play Triforce Heroes?
No, I have not played that.
Okay. Moving on. We have what came out next was Twilight Princess HD, so we'll move on. Same year,
Wind Waker HD.
my Nintendo. Okay, whatever that is. Then we get Breath of the Wild. Obviously, that's a replay.
Breath of the Wild?
2017, yeah.
I never heard of that game.
Yeah.
I never played the Wii
I think
U
it just
version.
kind of went under the radar.
Breath of the Wild's amazing. Especially if you are gonna play, if you're new to the Switch, you're gonna play Breath of the Wild. You need to pick up some of these. I mean, unless you are a lunatic that opens your amiibos. Get these guys right here.
Oh, those cars were great.
I think that I got them off of Etsy, and it's basically all the amiibos in card form. I'll pull one out.
Okay.
Let's just say, here's the Guardian. And the Guardian and the other two in that pack are going for like $106 now. I think I paid $40 for this pack of cards. And they just have the NFC chip inside of it.
Yeah, I used them. They're pretty easy. You just slap on top of that stick.
Yeah.
Okay, quick opinion. Just since we're done now, that was the last game.
You didn't ask me my favorite thing about Breath of the Wild, sir.
Oh, sorry. What is your favorite and least favorite thing about Breath of the Wild?
In Breath of the Wild, you can buy a fucking house.
Oh, yeah. That's,
you can put weapons on the wall to show off. And with these cards, you can get Epona again, just like you could in Ocarina. And Twilight, I guess. But she's finally back. Least favorite thing about that game is when it rains and you're trying to climb a fucking mountain.
Slide down. Okay. That is the list of... That is Scumbag Steve's replay or stay away for the Legend of Zelda series. And now back to news.
Now back to the news.
Exactly.
So,
I have a couple things that we haven't talked about. Quick.
I will save this one for last because it's going to take us into the first live service game I want to talk about.
Okay, I have a couple. This might end up being kind of a live service thing, so let's start with something from The Legend of Zelda, since we're right there anyway. If you haven't seen, I don't know if you've even seen, the production quality or the amount of amiibos of the Zelda in the Loftwing for the Skyward Sword. They had problems with producing enough. The factory just wasn't able to output as much as they thought they were going to be able to. Okay. So they haven't even been able to even ship out all the pre-orders.
Oh no, those poor scalpers.
Well, that's fair there. But even for that, say that it wasn't scalped. Even if you have a legitimate pre-order and you're a legitimate fan who wants to hang it on your wall like Scumbag Steve back here and just love it, then they haven't even been able to ship out all of those. So
that's sad.
It is sad. They do promise to get all the pre-orders completed. I think I don't even know. People might start getting refunds though, right? Like some of these stores like Best Buy and GameStop aren't going to be able to promise you that forever. So eventually they're just going to have to refund you.
I want one to use. Well, it's not really that necessary to use. I've been playing. Like I said, I'm 9 hours in. I've already got all.
Yeah, it's just like a fast travel, right?
I've got a lot done. I'll just say that. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
For people that actually haven't played on the Wii, this is their first time ever. You don't need the amiibo.
No, you don't. Even says they even say like you don't really need this amiibo. It's more for looks than it is for functionality.
There's stones everywhere in the game to do the same functionality as the amiibo.
Right.
You save probably 2 minutes of flight. That's about it. The amiibo.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing that's being scalped is those.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, and the OLED, but. So I have one last news before you can finish off with your thing here. I'm curious what your opinion is on Netflix planning to offer games in at least, if not more than, interactive TV shows.
They're going to stream them then, or you think you're going to download them?
I don't know. But I can tell you that they hired Mike Verdu, who was the vice president of game development. Or they hired him as the vice president of game development. Sorry, he has worked for a lot of large companies like EA and Facebook, like an Oculus. He's put his foot in the door. He's really successful and he's worked on cool projects. But that being said, they just hired him as like what was it called again? President of game development. So we know that they're working towards some kind of game service.
You think he's making 6 figures?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I do. At least 80.
Yeah.
Probably 100 though, if not 120. And he could be making more than that. I mean, look how much money is in the gaming industry, bro.
Yeah.
The things that are guaranteed are like interactive TV show style things where like they do a really high production interactive video game where you see your choice determines where the game continues. And it just plays like a cutscene, and then your choice determines what the next cutscene is, and so on. Or you have to like click on the screen in different locations.
Have you ever played Zork?
I have not, but it is sitting on a shelf over here.
Okay.
Right here. The Zork Anthology.
Yeah, dude. So, little quick story about Zork. They put it in the campaign of that new Call of Duty game, and I was in Discord chatting up with Kevin. He's been on the podcast before.
Yep.
And he was playing Zork, and I was helping him through it because I remembered it. You know, when you grow up with a shitty ass computer,
you have to play shitty ass games.
You have to play. Well,
Zork's great. Zork's great, but at the time that we were playing computer games, that was a shitty ass game.
That was fucking garbage. Yeah.
Continue your story, please.
But yeah, he was playing Zork, and he'd never heard of it or anything. I just thought, wow.
Yeah, I mean it's random, right? Because the first two are text adventure, aren't they?
Yeah, it is also text adventure in Call of Duty.
Yeah,
you have to type it into the command console on a computer.
It's wonderful.
It's cool. Very cool.
All right, so what do you have for us in the last topic here, now that we've covered Netflix?
Okay, so this is on topic with what we're going to be talking about today. Warframe.
Right.
I played it. I know a lot of people have played it. Is now cross-play and cross-save later this year.
Yeah. If you didn't see, they were actually showing it off today at what's it called? TennoCon or something.
Yeah.
And it plays between PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. And
they're talking about mobile as well.
Yeah, and that's just what a move. What a move in the gaming industry. Like I've been wanting, because it's not just cross streaming, like the cross save too. So like if you own all these consoles, you can play your same character on PC, then PlayStation, then Xbox, then your Switch, then maybe your phone. I'm guessing phone will be streamed. Like it'll stream it to your phone and you'll just control like a server somewhere else.
Maybe, yeah. But the Switch is already mobile, so
yeah.
I mean, obviously, you have to have an internet connection to do that.
Yeah, right.
But you have to have an internet connection to play Warframe, anyways.
You do. It's purely online game. I think there is an offline mode, isn't there?
I don't think so.
No.
I've had some fun with it. I played some Warframe with some friends for a while. It's just one of those that becomes too much when you play it too long and do the same thing. I mean, the game is the same thing over and over and over and over and over.
Right.
No fault of its own. It knows the cycle. It knows its audience.
It started off as like a Destiny 2 clone, right?
It's definitely a Destiny clone. I think it predates Destiny, though.
Okay.
So Bungie copied him in that aspect.
Okay.
But funny.
That's super cool, though.
Now that we're done with the news, and you're speaking of Destiny, we might as well do the retro pick of the week.
Retro pick of the week.
This isn't only one of the live service games that I've messed with, but it's definitely one of them. I put a lot of hours into the original Destiny.
Okay. Yeah.
This isn't even my original copy. I got the digital collector's edition when I heard that Bungie was making a new game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that one too. Yep. And these discs, I've never popped them in. I'm sure they came on lots. I just thought, that's kind of cool. But I wonder, there's a PS Plus thing in here. I don't know if it's used.
Huh. Hey, man, you might be able to get 24 games.
There you go.
That expiration date's probably way beyond gone.
Let's find out. You know what? 2015.
That's great. I played Destiny quite a bit. I don't think I ever beat it, but Destiny 2 took me out. I was done. It's just so repetitive. So repetitive. My modern pick, you have over there, if you want to hold that up for me. Because I don't remember what it is. Yes, Borderlands. Borderlands 2. Now I don't really have a live service retro pick, and this is more because I believe this is what live service minus MMOs. MMOs totally used to be like what live service is now. But the DLC in this game to me kind of feels along those lines of live service, like where like it totally adds 100% different style of game. Well, not really. It's the same game, but it adds 100% new content. Like, and like that's some of my favorite DLC. So I went with that one because it's got Tiny Tina, and then it's got what's his name, the explosions, dude. I love that.
Yeah, it was a good game. I put a lot of hours into Borderlands 2 as well. Not so much in Borderlands 3.
We used to. I think Borderlands was one of the first games that you and I, especially you, were like kind of modding. Like we're like, because remember we would download our character onto a thumb drive, and then put it in your computer and modify the stats of that character, and put it back in the PS3, and then it would, like, we'd have like 100% stats. It would be already level 100.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember doing that? Yeah.
It was something I could have done back then.
No, it's definitely something we did. I 100% remember doing it. I think it was Borderlands 1. It might have been Borderlands 2.
Okay.
But we had some like character editor, and we could like change the stats of the characters. And then put it, then replace the save, and yeah. And that
sounds like something that I could have done.
Yeah, totally. So that is my retro pick based on those stories and reasons.
Yeah, that's a great game.
Yeah, totally. It is a great game. It is also
another cool cover that has a 3D Psycho on the front.
I was surprised to learn that I don't own a copy of Borderlands on anything. Not even like, I don't even own like the original or yeah. Anyway,
so
enough about my collection. Games as a service.
Kind of news related.
Okay.
We're talking about this game because it is totally live service game. Grand Theft Auto Online. Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto Online. They're having an update again. July 20th. For PC, PS4, PS5.
Yeah.
PS5 and Xbox One, Series X, I suppose, when it comes out for them.
That's already... I'm sure it'll be on Xbox Series X day one.
Are they out yet? I don't think those versions of the games are out. Yeah,
I've been playing GTA 5 on my Xbox Series X.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I deleted it too. I downloaded it, played it for like 2 days, and then deleted it. So I was like, I've played this so much on my PC that like it feels like why. I mean, the story mode's great. I'll go back and play the story mode on my Series X. It does look better. It runs faster. But I've played on my PC for so long that it looks just as good on my PC. And I have so much time dumped into the online session that I think I'll just delete it off the Series X. But it's on Game Pass, so.
They are adding in street racing stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, so the timing of it's pretty well close to Fast and Furious 37. And they even got Ludacris to come in as a character and voice, and yeah.
Now, do you think it's going to be in the style of the new over the top Need for Speeds, where they're like dragging a safe down the street and blowing up the moon with their car?
If there's heist, totally, you're gonna drag a safe or something crazy. But I think it's more in the style of like the originals, where it's just street racing.
Yeah,
and then Japanese imports and
German you're taking down some other company, you're taking down some thug organization or something, car thieves, chop shop,
stealing cars.
Yeah. We'll probably add chop shops. That's where you're gonna buy, right? That's where your
scooter shops have lifts and stuff.
I mean,
put your cars up.
You'll probably still use the club as your main base, but whatever.
I'm gonna play it. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
even if only for a week.
This is the thing with the live service, is it's a free update. Like, this is how you bring people back to your game once they're done with your game, is you release an update that basically changes the game and gives them a reason to come back and play again.
Which GTA is one of those.
GTA is great at that.
You can play GTA for a month. You're like, well, fuck this. And then you're back 5 months later when the update comes out, and you play for another month, and you go,
please,
fuck this.
Once I complete the heist I'm done. And then I
Yeah.
come back when the next size comes out. Like,
Right.
and I mean, that's what because I only really play with you and Daniel and Kevin. And so when it comes to GTA at least, and yeah, it's just, I don't know, playing it on your own is cool and all, but you kind of need a crew, right?
Yeah,
Like
you
that's a
do.
game that they like, you need your criminal crew in order to run your criminal organization. You
Right.
can't really make money in that game without, unless you want to spend real money, without having a criminal organization. And GTL Online is all about money. Like that, it's literally about getting
Everything
as
is
much
money.
money as you can get, so you can own everything in the game. Like that is
Yeah. And
that is that
I'm
game.
sure that this one is going to require another 10 million to buy everything that you get day one.
Yeah, yeah, it will. But you having 40 million will be like, yeah, okay,
Yeah, right. It's over.
I already own it all. I was just thinking though, actually, that um, speaking of them, where's it at? That
Of Grand Theft Auto or of Rockstar?
Red Dead Online
Yeah,
is getting an
Rockstar.
update too. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I thought I had it pulled up here. I can't find my article. But Red Dead Online is I mean it's I would say I prefer right here. Here it is. I think I prefer it more than I prefer GTA Online as a more calm. It's a more calm version of GTA, right?
I
Where
don't know
like
if I'd say calm.
it's not
There's
as
not
chaotic.
there's
There's
not
not,
missiles going off everywhere, but
yeah, not
you
planes
still have
crashing
to be
into
worried about
you.
a guy coming up and lassoing you and taking you to the edge of a cliff.
Yeah, like what was I literally like the first day I opened up RDO. I RDO. I've never called it that before.
RDD2, RDR2.
It's called Red Dead
Oh,
Online.
I
I
was
mean,
just
it's
trying to
called
think
Red
of
Dead
that.
Online.
It's
But
yeah.
it okay, so the first day we're playing, I'm trying to get through like the beginning of the game, the first like two online missions. And these
Mhm.
two I get separated from Smoke. Two guys come up to me, lasso me, tie me up, and then leave me on the railroad tracks. Like I can't do anything. Like there's nothing to be done, and you can't find me. And like so I respawn, right? And then they come back and they do it again. And they do it like 3 or 4 times, and they're just like harassing me. And it's like I can't do anything about this. Like there's literally nothing I can do about this. So there is that aspect. But once you have the equipment and once you have the skill, it's pretty friendly online for the most part. I mean,
It's
you
gonna
are
be
gonna get
gunslinger.
robbed, and yeah. When you're doing the missions, I mean that's the stupid part is I was in a mission and I failed the mission because they interrupted it.
Hmm.
So, but anyway, that this the game is, let's see. Um,
I'm the opposite of you. I think the Grand Theft Auto is better than Red Dead
well, I don't know that
online.
it's better. I'm like, yeah, I don't know that it's better. It's different.
More stuff needs to happen to Red Dead in order for it to meet the caliber of Grand Theft Auto. It's probably not making as much money as Grand Theft Auto does. That's why they don't care as much.
No, there's no way it is making as much money as Grand Theft Auto. That for one, the shark cards.
Right.
People,
You can
people
buy
are buying
gold
this.
in Red Dead as well.
Yeah, but people are spending money on those, and
It's
it
the problem.
sucks because like the grind to get that much money is hard, and that's why I mean like you can't play that game on your own because the grind to get $3.5 million or $1 million is pretty hard actually. Even in a
Solo is
heist,
really hard.
yeah. Even with people though, it takes hours to get millions of dollars. Um, and which I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but when your price tag of items is like $100 million, like it's literally like I mean I don't think there's anything over like 25 million,
Right.
but still like that would take you weeks to get, not just on your own, like with people that would take you at least a couple weeks to get. If you weren't buying shark cards or running an entire underground enterprise, you would have to pay attention if you were going to do it on your own. right? Like constantly defending your drug runs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of glitches and stuff back in the day too that made it a lot easier for people that have been playing a long time to
Yeah.
acquire a large sum of money.
Yeah. Now the quickest way to both win and lose money is the casino. And
That's true.
you can win a lot of money and you can lose a lot of money. But I mean with normal casinos too, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever won a jackpot from a slot machine?
In Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
No.
I've won the car like 3 times.
I went to the very first casino in real life and won $200 on my first machine.
That's cool. I do like. I mean, I'm not a huge casino person.
Put that
so
money in my wallet.
But yeah, that's like I'm afraid that I won't do that.
I don't want to spend that 200 now.
Yeah, I'll bring in. I mean, the smart thing, right? Bring in a certain dollar amount that you're okay with. Bring just that in, win some money, and then put that away, so that like all the money that you made is what you're betting on. You don't lose any money. You're just betting on the house money at that point.
Right. Yeah.
And then once you lose the house money, be done. But I haven't gone to a casino in a long time. I've been wanting to go because there's some really nice casinos over here, but they're so busy that I'm just like,
I can't stand the one that we go to because it's got no smoking sections. Ironically, my nickname is Smoke, but I fucking cannot stand cigarette smoke.
But you vape.
Cigar smoke.
Yeah.
Vaping is a lot different than smoking cigars.
Well, especially on the secondhand side, right? Like where somebody's not blowing. If somebody's blowing it in your face, it's annoying, but it's not a hazard to your health. Well, okay, in the end it is, but like it's not tar going into my lungs.
And it's not, the smell doesn't linger either with a vape.
Yeah, and even if it does, it's usually fruity, right?
I'm not saying to vape, but
no, please don't. Like, it's still a health risk. Please don't. We don't recommend you putting anything in your lungs. I mean, I smoke a lot of green stuff, and I don't recommend you doing that especially if you have breathing problems. I recommend doing it if you have mental problems. But
going to the casino and just wafting through the clouds of cigar and cigarette smoke is awful.
I love the Hard Rock, but that is part of the problem with that casino.
Yeah.
Anyway,
gambling in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, gambling in Grand Theft Auto. I do actually. I one of the first things I did when I went on to Grand Theft Auto Online I didn't have any money, right? I had but they give you $3,000 when you walk in the first time. And then I spun the wheel and got a free $5,000. And then I spun the wheel and got 25,000 coins or chips. Right. But it's also weird not being a penthouse owner. I was like, fuck this.
Right.
I'm out. I want my penthouse.
I got the private table, my penthouse up in GTA Online.
I don't have that. I bought the cheapest one because I got the enterprise pack back when I first got into online because I wanted to be able to make money. So I was like, okay, I'll spend the $20 to get the enterprise. Actually, it's like $8 or $9 or something like that to get the enterprise pack. And then you get like one of every single of the older shops, like the biker bar and the arcade and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know if you get an arcade, actually. You might not get an arcade, but you get a clubhouse, stuff like that. And $1 million. And so I did that when I was trying, because I want to make money. So and you get your bunker and everything, so I can start running drugs. And this would be really bad out of context, right? Like, this is in GTA, people, not in real life.
Somebody's just now hearing us.
What the hell?
Walking down, somebody listening.
Why listen to some guy talk about selling drugs? It's GTA, man. Yeah, no, Rockstar is doing a good job with live service games. I'm excited for Grand Theft Auto 6 whenever that comes out. I don't care if it's 5 years from now. I want them to take their time because the longer they take, the higher my expectations are. So please take your time. Just know that when it comes out, my expectations are very, very high. Right now, if it launched, I'd expect it to be a buggy mess. If it launches in 5 years, I'm going to expect to be a pretty polished, beautiful game.
It makes you wonder how long they have realistically been working on it.
I imagine they've been working on it since before they finished production on GTA 5.
I would like to think so. At least story wise, they were.
At least in the beginning of development and getting the gameplay mechanics down to like what do they want to change from GTA 5, what like those kind of things. Like what do we want to push? Like what do we want to play with? Do we want to push just the graphics? Because obviously they're gonna get a really realistic, highly detailed. Like they have to almost. I'd be fine with it being
5 looked
GTA
really good on
5
PS3 for a time.
for the time, right? But now, like look at the mods for GTA 5, the realistic mods, or even not like the mods, but the people who have hacked the engine and just made like photorealistic environments using the GTA 5 engine and
Right.
uploading new assets to it. Um, a lot of that doesn't run in real time, but even the stuff that does run in real time looks really good compared to the base game. If GTA 6 looks like that, then and it runs in real time, which it will at least on future hardware, right? Like 30, I bet like, 3060s and stuff. And I don't know about a Series X, even with the kind of quality I'm talking about, it might push it, or PS5. But ray tracing and high detailed bump maps and stuff like that really push your immersion, right?
You're
Like
getting
it's
me
gotta
excited
be
for Elder Scrolls now too.
I know too, because it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like
Take your
like
time, make it good. But
make
come
it
on, give
good.
us updates. All we need is updates, man.
And I don't even just mean graphics either, right? Like
No, we want to know
I
how
mean
things are going
gameplay,
with models.
gameplay quality, right? Like I want to be able to like on Grand Theft Auto at least, maybe not so much Skyrim or sorry, not Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 6, but GTA 6. I really want to be able to do anything. Like how that was the idea for GTA 5, you would be able to do anything. I literally want to be able to do 90% of the things I could do in real life. If I want to be a fat slob who sits and eats ramen all day, I want to be able to do that in GTA 6. I mean, obviously they have to pertain to the story somehow too. Like you
That would
can't
be
just
cool to take it back to like the San Andreas days.
San Andreas, yeah.
You eat too much, you gain weight, and you can go work it
Yeah.
off.
That's the kind of thing I want. Like that extra level of immersion. And that's what I expect from Rockstar. Maybe not other developers, but Rockstar, I definitely expect that. Because look at the realism in Red Dead 2. Like, the famous one is the horse's testicle shrinking and when it gets cold, right?
Yeah.
But even like just the like, okay, like it can go too far, right? The annoyance of literally having to open a cupboard and bend down and pick it up and watch that entire animation when you're just trying to pick up a can. I don't know if they would do that in GTA. I really like that in Red Dead, personally. I know a lot of people don't.
Red Dead's slower pace though. You don't have a car that does 180 miles an hour.
Yeah, right. I mean, you can drift your wagon still though. Yeah, I think that'd be cool though. It will be a live service game too, right? Like
yeah, they have to continue GTA 6, GTA Online, which I heard rumored, and I'm sure it's fucking true. It's in Vice City again, which Vice City is one of my favorite games, one of my favorite locations.
Right.
Makes perfect sense to me that they do it there again.
They need to visit old locations too with new games. Why not? Why do they have to make a new cityscape every time?
Right.
I know they've based like Los Santos off of old maps, but not really.
They did. It's off San Andreas, and it's LA essentially.
Yeah,
it's
that. Just a bigger portion of LA. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like people are not lying when they say if you've never been to LA and you play GTA 5 and then you go to LA, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, this looks like GTA 5." And people will look around you like, "Wait, what? You mean GTA 5 looks like LA, right?" Cuz like it's true. Like, you can go visit a lot of the buildings. At least like they do base it off of real buildings in Hollywood and in real environments, right? Like there are like in a larger scale, of course, there are the different suburbs that are in GTA 5, which is really
I loved GTA 4 too because I felt like I was in New York. It's what I would expect New York to feel like. The grimy filter they put over everything too.
Yeah, the coloration, like the washed out.
Everything was brown,
brown color. Yeah,
I think Vice City would be great. It's too bad that it's going to be modern day because Vice City with Tommy Vercetti back in the '80s was fucking sick.
Right.
I mean, they're gonna have to do a callback at some point. It's maybe it will take place.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the
What
story will take place in the 80s and
what
then
if
go
they
forward.
brought back the character too?
Yeah, he's just an old bastard. Well,
Or he wouldn't be old
no, he
because he
wouldn't.
was like in his like late 20s, early 30s, right, in the game.
Well, he just got out of prison.
So, yeah, so maybe late 30s, which would put him like Nico's an old bastard
But
in GTA
uh,
4.
see him because I don't know if he's still alive.
Right.
He's killed a lot of fucking people.
That's fair. So maybe he gets out of prison again. That'd be a short sentence.
Might still be alive. Maybe you visit him in prison. Maybe something.
Yeah, right. Or he makes like some kind of um guest appearance, like Easter egg kind of appearance.
Yeah, I always liked that back in Liberty City Stories and Ballad of Gay Tony, where you could see Nico in the background.
Yeah. Right.
It says that he's still alive in GTA 5, so
Okay. You must call him or something.
but,
Well, let's move on to a different developer here. Somebody who's getting pretty big into live service games, which is Bethesda.
one of theirs do you think is live service?
ESO.
ZeniMax. Yeah, absolutely.
And then also 76.
Yeah, you're right. Totally.
Um,
Gross.
yeah, but it isn't as gross as it used to be. It's getting updates and they're completely changing the game. Like
Yeah.
at least yearly, I imagine, if not every other year, they're going to add a lot to the game. I imagine. I could be wrong.
If
But
I were them, I would just clean the slate and try again.
right. I don't know, man. I think they have to keep it with 76.
They need
I
to
think they
give people a
have to
new
push it.
Fallout mainline.
Yeah, and they are. It's coming. It's
Yeah.
called it's taking place in shoot. I don't
I
remember.
saw it. It's like fuck. It's not in America.
It is, isn't it?
I
No,
thought it
no,
was
no,
in
you're
like
right.
France
You're
or
right. It's in Europe.
yeah.
It's yeah. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. It's like not I don't think it's London, but it's something like that.
Sure.
Um and it's yeah, it looks good. I liked the teaser that came out. It made me want to play it. Voice acting seemed pretty good, which is something that needed to be improved in the games. Honestly, was the voice acting,
Right.
and I'm down some for Fallout Quest. Please take away the automatically generated side quest. Like, just take that away from Fallout 4 and customly write every single side quest and give it meaning. Um, And other than that, I don't have another complaint. I mean, the story mode can be as short as you want as long as you give me enough side content that I want to actually do, not side content that makes me feel like I'm doing a collectathon or something.
I feel like you have to bring settlements back too for the people that
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
That's got to be a main series thing now. Same with Elder Scrolls. You're gonna have to do the same Skyrim stuff.
House building. Yeah.
Yeah. I think why not go north and depth with it too? At that point, cut your own
Right.
trees down, find your own piece of land. I know it'd be hard for like fast travel points and shit like that, but if anybody's gonna find a way, it's gonna
Well,
be
if you have to
Xbox.
pay for it still, right?
Yeah,
You'd have to have
you have to pay for
maybe
it.
maybe you maybe you are allowed to put it in certain regions. So right, like you have like this land, you are able to put a house, a plot of land even anywhere on this, and you can customize the size even, right? That'd be cool if you can like customize the size and you just pay more for a bigger lot and you pay like then you go to the Jarl and
Hear me
you
out.
pay him.
Hear me out.
Okay. Okay.
You start your own settlement, your own village.
Ooh. You know, you do that in Assassin's Creed 3 and it's really fun. I mean, you don't really have the control that me and you are talking about right now, but
But
It's
in
really
Elder
fun to like do
Scrolls,
that.
yeah, you're the Jarl then.
You could be like infamous or famous then too. Like add
Right?
like bring that really back into it from Oblivion,
You can
where like
just have a village full of Daedric worshippers.
there you go. Yeah, and if you could really control it to that point where you can bring certain clans, like say you're a werewolf, you could bring a werewolf clan
Yeah,
to your where like everyone in town's a werewolf.
have a massive Mehrunes Dagon statue in the middle of town.
And like say you were like all werewolves, right? Then all of a sudden you have werewolf hunters coming to your town trying to
Oh, that'd
burn
be
your
cool.
town down. Right? Or like say you're Templar or like yeah, whatever. Like your whatever your guild is inside your town, if even if you have multiple guilds. Okay, first off, if you guild in your town, rival guilds attack your town. But say you have two rival guilds inside your town, then you start having like gang wars inside your town.
Be cool.
That'd be kind of cool.
You have to hire your own guard, and the guard turns on the other guard.
It'd also be kind of cool. I know it's very fantasy, so it'd be hard to do in a fantasy environment. But if they could go to like a more civilized area where like it is a larger civilization, larger towns, kind of breaks the Elder Scrolls.
Oh, look at the
there,
Imperial
right?
City.
Yeah, I mean that's bigger.
Yeah,
But yeah, so like take the Imperial City and make it bigger, and then have all the small rural towns around it. Still, I want
right.
Oblivion remakes, and I want
The Oblivion
that's
remake
a
would be cool.
big that's a big project. The
That is
fan
a
projects are where you're gonna feel that.
very large project.
Even a Morrowind remake would be hard
Mm-hmm. Why stop there?
because they're not Bethesda games. The first two, they're acquired by Bethesda. Shoot, let's see. I mean, Elder Scrolls Online, that is like that's a really good games service live service game.
Especially if you have the membership, then you get all the
Yeah.
expansions for free.
Or if you are just getting into it and you don't want to pay for the membership, buy the latest expansion because you get everything before that.
Yeah,
too.
buy it physical too if you're gonna play it on console. Get like Somerset. I don't know what's out now. I think it's Skyrim
You can
now.
buy it digitally and get everything too. If you buy the latest version digitally.
Yeah. But
I mean, we're physical guys.
Yeah. Always buy physical.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to convince people, but I agree.
Also, the fucking game takes up like 600 gig.
It is a lot. It's like 125. But the updates are always quality. What from my experience, the updates are always quality.
You never heard of hyperbole?
Huh?
Exaggeration.
Yeah, of course I have, man. I'm the most sarcastic.
600 gigs. Buy physical, you sons of a bitch. That's just going to push people back to physical. Is what's going to happen.
Yeah, there was some game on the Switch that was coming out.
Yeah,
I was having that problem.
People are going to have to buy fucking SSDs every month rather than games.
Yeah, I'm already like on my terabyte or my 1 terabyte on my Series X. Like I've been starting to think about it. So there's a problem with solid state storage where like you can rewrite to it, right? You can delete stuff and rewrite to it. It's fine.
Only so many times though in blocks.
But only so many times.
Yeah.
And so like if you're downloading games and deleting them and downloading them and deleting them, your drive is only going to last so long.
Xbox's whole thing is Game Pass, so you're going to be doing that a fucking lot.
Which means you probably have at the most 7 to 10 years on your hard drive, which is a long time. You might even have less than that, but I'm going to say at the most you would have. Even a regular life cycle, that's a long time.
At least they have a lot of cloud-based stuff for your profiles and saves, but you are going to lose everything.
Everything is backed up. Everything saves to the cloud now automatically. All your saves, you don't even get the option anymore like you used to on the 360. Just automatically saves to the cloud.
Right.
Well, I mean, it saves to both places. I think it saves locally and to the cloud because it syncs.
Right. So yeah. Bethesda has 2 live service games
as of now. They'll definitely bring more.
What about Ubisoft?
Well, they've got Siege.
They've got Siege. They've got Division 2.
Division 2 at least, yeah.
Division 2 at least, yeah.
And then they've got Infinity coming out. next year or the year after.
Oh, they sure do.
Yeah, so the Assassin's Creed is going to go live service as well.
We're gonna go on that more later when we do our Assassin's Creed special. We have to.
Right. Of course.
But
Yeah.
what are your just very generic thoughts on them trying to make a live service Assassin's Creed?
I think within the story of Assassin's Creed, it makes sense. Like within the story of Abstergo Entertainment, which is really what Assassin's Creed is about. It's about the modern, like the behind the scenes. So forget the main thing you're doing when you play the game, right? Like the being a pirate or a
Right.
Roman soldier or whatever. When you're outside the Animus, um, you are fighting modern day Templars of Sturgo Entertainment who are trying to find ancient relics and whatever. And I think inside that storyline, making this live service makes sense because it's kind of what they're doing in the later games, starting from Black Flag on. Like they start taking this, like Abstergo Entertainment becomes this company that releases new experiences, I believe is what they call them, right? Where like anybody can come and play this pirate game, can play as this,
right,
whatever. And so I think in that it would make sense as where like if they did a live service game, not, I mean, this isn't what's going to happen. So this isn't like a guess or estimate or whatever.
It's not a spoiler. It's not a rumor.
Yeah, no rumor, nothing like that. This is just like what I would love them to do and would make sense to me is if they released it in a way where like you got a chapter or, they could release a few chapters over time of one story arc for like, say a pirate.
One character.
But they also released eventually.
From Life to Death then, or?
Well, not from Life to Death, because like the Animus, what it does is it takes like the important moments of that person or that ancestor's life,
and
you replay those moments.
I would say your birth and death are pretty important in life.
Well, fair, right? But like it's gonna a lot of times like the cutscenes that play in the older games are like the beginning of the game. You, especially it's Ezio, you see Ezio growing up. You do a couple missions in the beginning, tutorial kind of missions as Ezio as like a kid or a teenager, and then you become an adult. And that's when the game really starts to kick in. And then it's like your journey through that guild, whatever the Templars are really trying to find out. That's like the main things that you play in that person's storyline. So like they're following the clues, right? Like Abstergo pushes you, like this is all like really background information, but like Abstergo pushes you to do this mission so that you can play. So that, and then like once you learn this mission, you learn this from this conversation you had after you assassinated this guy, you follow the clues. And that's why like it jumps around on the timeline and keeps moving forward. And you can skip 6 months and not play anything in that character because they just want to fast forward to the important information. So if they did something like that where like, yeah, I think it would work because every 5 years you do like a major update, right? Where you do like a huge graphic overhaul and you maybe change some game code, fix major bugs or like minor bugs even and stuff like that. But like every 6 months or a year or so, you release a new chapter, a new story mode, even if it's outside the Animus, right? Like you release a story arc that helps you understand what's happening outside the Animus or advances the storyline behind the scenes. I don't think it'll ruin the game, but a lot of people are disagreeing with me there. They think that...
Dude, people always fucking complain months ahead of the game.
Well, we're like a year, if not more, ahead of the game.
Right.
Which is the other thing. We don't know enough.
I'm not going to fucking play it, and then they're first in line to fucking buy it, dude.
Yeah. I'll definitely be playing it. I'm kind of upset I have gotten out of Assassin's Creed series because playing it lately has made me really miss it. It's really fun.
That's kind of one of the funny things with like the OLED Switch. I saw online everybody's like, "Oh fuck Nintendo, we want the Pro."
Mm-hmm.
No, and then now these things are sold out. Granted, scalpers are eating them alive, but
people are buying them.
People are buying
like
them.
Homeowners, and like Yeah, I thought the OLED would be something you could pick up in store. I didn't think it would sell out the way everything else did because like it's not really a huge improvement. Yeah, it is, but I
I
didn't think
like
it would
the
sell out.
I like the kickstand. That's a big
I like
selling
the
point for me.
kickstand. I
And
do
the
like
dock
the
is
handheld mode.
really cool.
Obviously, a better screen is great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't play
carry
a
a
lot of
stand
handheld.
around with me. No, I don't either. The new dock is cool, but only for one reason.
Yeah. Well, two reasons. One, it's white. Two, it has an Ethernet port.
I believe it has. No, I think that is the same USB port. I was just say I believe. Oh, they were talking it might have a different HDMI port, like a 3.0 instead of a 2.0.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, it's anyway. That's enough of the Switch. We're gonna switch topics now to no, yeah, right. Um, let's go a little bit more not big publishers. Like let's talk about games that came from a long time ago, like Rust. That game's old, but it's still a live service game, right? Like it's still kicking out updates. It's still got a large player base.
As hard as this is going to be, knowing that I play almost every survival game,
Yeah.
I have not touched Rust.
Okay, Rust is hard, and
I
it's
knew
kind of
about
annoying.
the toxic community, and
Yeah,
I'm
it's
one that
pretty
likes
toxic.
to build giant structures, and I don't want them blown to the shit. So Rust
Yeah,
is not one that
well,
I've touched.
I've been watching you play Conan,
Yeah.
and that game feels a lot like that to me, where it's like pretty
Yeah.
toxic sometimes.
Right.
Or at least people have the opportunity to be toxic, even if some of the player base isn't.
It's always the bad apples that ruin it for everybody else. But along with Rust,
Arc Survival,
Ark, yep, Ark Survival Evolved, which is getting a sequel soon.
So like I
I
don't
have
know
played
what
Ark.
Arc is kind of a live service game. It is.
Sure.
I mean, but it is soon to no longer be, I guess. Because Arc 2 is coming out, right? So they would no longer update. They would no longer update Arc or have.
I wonder how they'll treat that.
They'll probably for like a year or two continue seasons, right? And then once seasons are like at some point they'll just be like, all right, we'll keep the servers up for a bit, but we're done with seasons. And then a couple years after that, they shut down the servers.
Enjoy modders.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, I'm not a major game corporation, so. I mean, as far as live service games, I mean, if we go beyond that, it's gonna start getting to like MMOs, which are live service.
Well, I mean, you've got like the MOBAs too. You've got like League of Legends, Fortnite, Apex.
I'd say those are live service, constant new skins.
But we've already talked about them.
Yeah. What about DBD too? Like that's kind of live service, right?
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's on. You have to play online too.
Yeah, but like they release almost monthly a new update
every 3
with
months.
New characters every 3 months. Okay, with new characters and the such.
Yeah, new map, new perks, stuff like that, and cosmetics. DBD loves their cosmetics.
Yeah. And you don't really. My thing about it is you don't really have to pay for stuff in that game because you do get points fast enough that you can unlock at least the ones you want when it comes to skins. You may not get everything.
You cannot purchase third-party licensed stuff without real money, though.
Yeah, it's true.
So anything Myers, Freddy, Leatherface, Saw, you have to use real money to purchase any of that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't really have any more to say about those, but like, what about we move on to something like Anthem, bad live service games that people are saying are turning around.
Yeah, fuck Anthem.
That'd be kind of like in the category 76, but
I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Anthem is just completely off the map now. This might be an old thing that we found because last I knew, EA had dropped them.
I think a different company bought them. Is what happened. I think a different company bought Anthem. Here, let me pull it up quick. I'm pretty sure another company bought Anthem and took over.
I thought they stopped development and everything on it.
Yeah, I don't see.
Sad news, Anthem fans. This is PCGamesN.com.
All future development was ceased, but they're reinventing the core gameplay of Anthem, is what they announced.
Wow. I know a couple of people that bought into Anthem. I was always hesitant, so I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't. So I would soon rather burn that $60 for warmth than play that game. That's just me, though.
Yeah, I didn't check it out. I wasn't really into those games. Like, I haven't checked out Apex Legends or any of that.
I played it once.
My friend Tyler, he really enjoys, or did. I don't know if he still plays it, but he was enjoying when it first came out, Apex Legends.
Those are games you could just pick up and play at any point.
Right.
I guess that's where stuff like Fortnite too, stuff like that.
But yeah, Fortnite's definitely a live service game too, because like constant skins, new seasons all the time.
Yeah.
Things that are bringing special events that bring the players back and keeps a strong community. Right. Not just in the Major League Gaming aspect, but like in a fan way. Like, I think it's cool that they do like live concerts every once in a while.
So I was discussing this earlier with our friends at Discord. Do you think that like a game like World of Warcraft, it's a subscription-based, expansion-based game? Is that then not a live service game because you're paying a subscription to play it?
It is. Not just because you're paying a subscription to play it, more like because of what they're giving you as a subscriber, or as a even just
because they update that game every Tuesday.
Yeah. I'd say that like that's where live service gaming actually comes from, is the MMO world, where like you're getting updates every few months because, and that's the only way you keep players around. And MMOs are the gaming publishers that really knew and understood that the only way to keep somebody around is to give them something new to do. And it can't just be like Destiny. It can't just be a repeat. You literally have to give them something new. You have to change the game up, give them different styles of quests, different storylines, different. And like WoW did that really well, and that's why WoW is still around.
For the time being, yeah.
I don't think they're going to go anywhere, because I think eventually they'll realize their player base is slowing down, which it isn't at this point, because their hardcore fans are still there. And then they will do 100% like radical like switch that will somehow like, and we don't, I can't tell you what that's going to be. I don't think Blizzard could tell you what's that going to.
Well, now Blizzard is doing their old school content.
Yeah, classic, which
they're keeping subscriptions up with that.
Like my roommates like classic. They have
BC classic now too.
Yeah, I don't think they've played the new classic, but when they brought it back first, it was what they switched to. And I have another friend who like, that's all he plays. They play classic because they don't like the new grind of the modern. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the old was very grindy as well. You didn't say more so
in a different way.
The new one is just in a different way. I get gear? Will I won't? The old one was, will I get ninja looted by my guild, or will I get slaughtered by the same boss for 6 hours until I finally decide to turn my PC off?
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Live service games aren't going anywhere.
No. I think it's the future, man.
I just hope that not all franchises, not all companies think that they have to do a live service game in order to be competitive.
Right. I hope so too, especially these companies who make really good first party games. Like I'm fine with Bethesda doing an MMO, but please continue to focus on your single player storylines, because that's really where they shine.
Right.
Same thing with thing with like Ubisoft. Like, stop trying to reinvent your wheel. I mean, I know you need to. You need to have that series or that game, but Ubisoft writes really accurate and very detailed stories for the most part.
That they do.
And so like focus on those. You can't really do that so much in a live service game without having continuity errors, or at least like having plot holes in your plot, because you're going to have to add side quests and stuff that have the potential of breaking your plot. Of course, Odyssey does this very well, even better than Valhalla, where like, so the team knows how to do it. They know how to have side quests that can affect the world without affecting your storyline.
I have not played Odyssey yet. I don't know if I will.
It's a really good game.
Yeah.
It takes Origins and multiplies it by like 5. It's a really good game. It's massive though. That's my problem with it. The map is so huge. It's easier to traverse than Valhalla. Valhalla is massive, like way too big.
Well, that's another point of one horrible thing that comes from live service games is, sure, you're going to get the amazing giant map. You're going to get the crazy game. What happens when they decide they don't want to support that game anymore? What happens when the servers go down and you can no longer play that shit?
Hopefully you're allowed to play it offline, right? Like, that's the hope. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying.
No, for the most part, it won't.
But like something
play,
like
you can't play Destiny offline.
No,
I have not checked to see if the servers are still up.
But Destiny's known for being. It was supposed to be an MMO, right? Like, right. It's kind of an MMO. In a way,
it's an MMO, but instead of doing a expansion, they did a sequel.
Yeah, right. You have a point. But like in like those games like WoW, of course you can't play it offline. But like something like Assassin's Creed, if it's a game as a service game, it doesn't have to be an online game. It can still be a single player. Like we were talking about, Hitman is kind of a game of live service game, right?
Sure.
But that is a completely offline game. The only online aspect is the scoreboard.
Sure.
Where you're, there might be some kind of multiplayer. I don't know. But as far as I know,
out of that.
Yeah, they're always updating. There's new content coming. They do seasons with that too. But what they do is they take their current maps and they'll put like a new NPC on it or something like that, and like expand the story using the maps they already have access to.
Right.
And if you own like Hitman 1, 2, and 3, you can play all of them through Hitman 3 and all the maps, right? And like they add really cool, after you've beat the game, they add really cool like story modes or like expanded story mode kind of stuff, like challenges and new hits and assassinations that are really cool. I haven't played a lot of that because you have to pay for 1 and 2 because you have to have it downloaded digitally, and I don't own them physically, and I don't own them digitally. I own Hitman 3 digitally, but
pay to play.
It is mostly pay to play, yeah. I kind of thought when I was buying it that it included Hitman 1 and 2, but that I didn't research into that. I kind of remembered hearing that. I heard it wrong, though. It includes, or you're able to play Hitman 1 and 2 completely through the story modes in Hitman 3, but you have to own separately Hitman 1 and 2. Yeah. So there's that.
Capitalism.
Yeah.
Capital, chat. Capital.
And then you have to be careful, right? Because they have access packs that allow you to buy the game so you can play it. And there's different versions of those access packs that like give you access to just the story mode, or the story mode from Hitman 1 plus the DLC from Hitman 1, or like just the main story modes from Hitman 1 and 2, but not the DLC. There's also season passes. There's all this.
I would say that game's live service.
Yeah, there is because like the I can't remember what they call it. What they're going through right now. They have a season 1, 2, and 3 of some kind of campaign they're going through. Something the like 7 Deadly Sins or Deadly Sin Pack or something like that, right? And it's like a 3-chapter story so far.
If you walk in to any game franchise and you see the word season,
yeah,
you're playing a live service game.
run.
Run.
No, I
There's
like,
nothing wrong with
so
them.
what did I just play that I was like, oh, there's seasons to this. Oh, I just got onto the Rocksmith Plus beta. I'm a huge fan of the series. That's a live service game, right? I'm a huge fan of the series. I've played it since the launch date of the first one. I bought it. In fact, apparently my real tone cable doesn't work anymore. But I own a lot of DLC for 2014 on both Xbox 360, PS4, and I could never get it to work on my PC, so I don't own any DLC on the PC.
I can't either on
but
PC.
I own the game.
I can't get DLC on PC.
Oh, you can't? Okay, I didn't know that. I've never been able to play because my real tone cable won't work on the PC for some reason. And on 2014, you have to download something like a virtual cable program. Like you've seen them before, like the VX Banana Potato, VB, I think it's called, that like takes some of your audio inputs and can make a digital input so that way the game can detect it, right? Because I could use like a USB mic to do it. It would work through that. But I don't have a USB mic. I have an audio interface. So anyway, moving on. Rocksmith Plus, one real quick note, it takes my audio interface. It recognizes my audio interface, and I can use any input 1 through 8 from my audio interface, and it works, which is wonderful. Let me just tell you how wonderful.
Yeah, the Rocksmith is in beta. Mind you, anyone listening?
Rocksmith Plus is in beta. It is early access beta. You had to be like, I think you had to be a Rocksmith or a Ubisoft Plus member, and you had to have played Rocksmith in the past to get access to it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I own it for every console, so I'm fine. And they let me have access to it. It's just a closed PC beta. It is going to be a live service game because they're going to.
It has to be.
Either you're going to have a subscription. It has to be at the end, right? Like you're going to have a subscription, I guess. I'm guessing. I think there's going to be a free version, right? If you buy the game, you get this. But there has to be a subscription to me
like 20
because
songs.
of the way they're doing it. Have you heard of Musician?
No.
So it's like an app-based guitar, piano, and vocal training mobile app. And they also have a PC version, but it started off as a mobile app. In the likeness of something like Rocksmith, where it recognizes what you're playing and corrects you. This game seems to be kind of going in a direction like that, where you kind of have lessons, sort of say, that you can do, like this lesson leads to that lesson. If you learn this, then this might be the next thing you want to learn.
Okay.
On that side, which it's not very far. Like, it's in beta, but it's missing a lot of what I expected to be there. There's no guitarcade, nothing like that. If you're a fan of the series, you'll know what I mean. And then the other thing is the music side, right? Like the song base. You have an all right selection of music right now. Most of it's like copyright-free music, like classic Beethoven hits that are made modern metal style. Like, right, you're playing lead guitar over Beethoven and Bach and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They have a few hits like Barracuda by Heart and I don't know, a couple other brands. But so there's like Franz Ferdinand, which it's not like Take Me Out. It's like 3 of his other songs off the album. I think what they're going to have to do, though, finally getting to my point, is that you're going to have to subscribe and then you get access to all of the music that they have available. Otherwise, you just get access to the base songs and you can buy other packs.
Yeah,
that's the only way I see it going. I could be wrong, again, as always, but that's the way I see it going, is you paying $15 a month to Ubisoft. Or like, and I agree that it could be part of the Ubisoft Plus subscription. So if you're a subscriber to Ubisoft Plus, then you would be able to get
at least get a discount.
Yeah, right. It's only $5 a month instead of 10 or whatever it is. And then you'll get access to all of the songs that they have available.
Right.
And there's also a lot of community content that they want they want the community to create content for this game too.
That's going to
which
be
is
a
cool.
road that it's going to have a lot of speed bumps for sure.
So right now, all you can do is modify the songs that they have, but they have a creator dashboard that allows you to take the songs they have and then write your own tabs basically for that song. So say you have mastered before Rocksmith ever came out, you really knew how to play something by Aerosmith, Angel by Aerosmith, right? And it's in the game. And you think that there's a problem with the original tab and you want to change that. You can write your own tab and upload that to the community where somebody else can see your tab and download it and play your transcription of that song. And you can do this for guitar and bass. My hope is that they allow you to add original tracks, like music tracks. So I could say, write a song, upload it, and then do a transcription of the song on my own, right? Like, so I could literally like teach other people my music where you would be able to download it.
Do you ever think that Rocksmith will incorporate, if I can speak English tonight, a electric drum set?
No.
You don't think so? I think it's all basic guitar?
I would like the idea. My drum set over here would like the idea of being able to hook MIDI up to my Rocksmith.
Of being able to be used every once in a while.
Yeah, I haven't used it in a while. But
get busy. I understand.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of things.
Everybody understands.
Yeah. No, I need to play it. I need to write music, and it's something I want to work on as soon as we get our channel a little bit more on an automated side where it's just kind of flowing and I can put a little bit more brain power into writing music. But I've been writing some cool riffs, so
you can write stuff for the channel at that point.
Yeah, that's kind of the hope too. I've got some rage quit ideas. I've been jamming. Anyway, I would like to be able to take MIDI out of my drum kit into my computer and say, hey, Rocksmith, here's a MIDI drum set. Here's my right cymbal, my left cymbal, my toms, my kick, my whatever.
Right.
And then it give me an accurate track selection based on what I have. So say I have 3 cymbals and not 2 cymbals. It can adjust for that and give me a ride, a crash, and a china or whatever. Or an accessory or something, right? Like it's my tambourine. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Little triangle.
Yeah, exactly. Like this symbol is my triangle in this song. But it doesn't, all I'm saying is that would be really cool. But there's a game that came out a long time ago called, it's going to kill me, I can't think of it. Rock something. And that's what it is. It's a drum version of Rock Band, basically. It's just drums. And it had, I think, 3 cymbals, a hi-hat, and 3 toms. Well, 1 snare and 2 toms. And a floor pedal. You think you could do a double bass. And it was a hard game to play. I remember people complaining about it. But it was literally just drums. Like, that's all you could do. I don't know what the song list was like. I don't know. I don't recommend it because I don't not recommend it, right? I know nothing about it besides an X-Play interview I watched back when I was in high school. Our interview, X-Play review.
There's one called Phase Shift.
Don't think that's it. No.
Okay. A lot of people on here on this forum that I'm reading said that they can use their electric drum set with Rock Band on PC.
Okay. That's cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
No, it was called
Rocksmith Drum Edition. Not that it matters.
Rock Revolution, I think,
is
what it was called.
Not that it matters at this point what this is called. We can always pop it in later if we find it.
No, that's one that's like basically Rock Band.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. It is gonna bother me, but an old game along those lines. Yeah, I remember this power gig. They had an electric guitar, basically, like where like every fret was a button, kind of. Instead of like how Rocksmith works, where it detects the audio wave, and if your audio wave matches the audio wave of the note that you're trying to play, then it's like, yeah, you played the right note.
even though sometimes you totally didn't.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't get perfect, but it's pretty good. Honestly, it's pretty good for what it's trying to do.
Yeah, I think that's a lot based off of your pickups too.
Yeah,
you have a cheaper end guitar, it has a harder time.
that is fair.
Yeah.
I will say when I bought my new guitar and I just tried playing it, it did feel a lot better playing like solos and stuff. It felt like I'm not great at scales or anything, so like solos I struggle with. And so I noticed that it was easier for me to hear what I was playing, what was wrong, because my notes didn't sound as out of place than they did with my Fender, which has it's a really cheap Fender from the 90s and has really cheap pickups in it that are very noisy. And so they don't come through very well. Whereas while they're still noisy pickups, they're still single coil pickups. So they have some noise. They did sound a lot better and cleaner and tighter. And I was able to get a much better tone, even through something like Rocksmith, which does an awesome job. Even back to the first Rocksmith, like it does an awesome job emulating tones. Like it's called DSP emulation, and it's like basically trying to emulate what a analog guitar amp and cab would sound like after it's been mic'd by a microphone. That's a hard thing to do. That's a lot of processing, and it's doing it in real time on an Xbox or a PlayStation, all the way back on the original one. Now it makes sense. Like I have software that sounds so close to realistic, so close to like I could say studio, but part of me feels like it just sounds like it's from the studio because that's what they use in the studio now to get tight tones is simulated guitar tones. But it sounds really close to analog guitar equipment, even when I get down to like really noisy, gainy, like British gain kind of amps and stuff. It sounds so like now it makes sense to me. Back in 2012, I think the first Rocksmith came out. My mind was blown.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, I'm excited for Rocksmith Plus. They don't have a launch date. It's in beta right now, closed beta. You've missed your chance. Sorry if you're a fan. And
you should get used to it by now in 2021, getting scalped.
Right. Yeah, I wish I could I would love to sell my access to Rocksmith Plus. That'd be great.
There you go.
No, you don't want it. Trust me, it's not ready. It's not ready for public consumption. It works just as good as Rocksmith 2014, but it's missing a lot of content, and it doesn't have anything to keep you there.
Well,
yeah, let's move on.
I did notice that you sent me a link.
Oh, you want to do Name That Game?
I think we should do Name That Game.
All right. I say we do it. So this week I sent you a live as service game. We haven't talked about it yet either. So we'll see if you can figure this out.
Okay. Let me put it full screen before I hit play.
Are you going to know the game is the question. I believe you've seen gameplay of it before. Let's get some music going. You ready to go?
As soon as you say go, I will hit the spacebar.
All right. I'm going to give you 2 notes before you hit play. This game was made in 2013. It released on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, including macOS.
Okay.
Hit play.
All right. Ooh, I need to turn that down a little bit.
Yeah, right. It was developed by Grinding Gear Games, so not a developer you probably know much from.
I'm seeing a game that looks a lot like Diablo.
It has a very similar art style to Diablo, and it is top-down.
To be fair, you gave it to me in like 320p. Just saying.
It shouldn't be.
I
didn't check it either.
I know this game. I'm just going to say a little bit of what I'm seeing here. The person playing this, I'm assuming is you, they are in a dungeon. It's a dungeon crawler. You got the map on the top right, a bunch of different skills you can do on top left. You have your health and mana, I'm assuming, bottom left and right, respectively. Along with potions and looks like passives. I believe that this game is called Path of Exile.
This is Path of Exile.
Okay. This is a game that I have seen a lot about. I have never picked up because I was such a fan of Diablo.
Right.
But I certainly would not play this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it looks fun. This is a boss battle. I did not play this. This comes from a YouTube channel because I wanted to find. I was started it and I was like, this isn't like entertaining. This isn't fun. Let me find something that's actually like not that is really entertaining to me. What I sent you.
This is a Diablo clone.
It's basically a Diablo clone, but it is. It is kind of MMO-ish at the same time. Excuse me, and it does release regularly with updates as well.
Okay.
So they consider it a live service game because of that.
There's another Diablo clone called Wolcen. I don't know if you've ever seen anything about that.
No.
Anybody listening that likes Diablo and just can't get enough.
Looking
Diablo
for a new Diablo.
3.
Yeah.
Wolcen and Path of Exiles are great. The end of the video are great alternatives.
Right. Well, congratulations. I don't have a score, bro. I haven't kept track of score for the last like 4 episodes.
Nice.
So I think you have won 7 or something, lost 1, maybe won 6 and lost 1. I have no idea what my score is. I know I've won 1 and lost every other one, including Perfect Dark.
Yeah, that was surprising last week.
Yeah, it was. I feel bad. I should have known that. I should have seen.
I trimmed out the text because you saw the text. It's in the same text as the title.
Okay. I should have. I wasn't paying attention to the clues close enough. I should have looked. I would have guessed it. But
yeah, it's 100% Path of Exile.
Yeah, it is. Congratulations, Path of Exile. Yeah, made by Grinding Gear Games, designed by a guy named Chris Wilson. Very popular actually. It's very well received. So give it a check out. We've already done both modern and retro pick of the week.
Yeah, we have.
And we're gonna skip the rage quit we were planning. That's coming soon though. Another rage quit.
Let it brew for a little bit longer.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but anyway. Well, you got anything else you want to cover?
I don't. I was just looking at the list of live service games that I could think of, and I don't think there's any more that we haven't.
I mean, there's plenty of games in this list that we haven't talked about, but do they matter? Like,
do they matter?
Yeah. No, do they matter to the context of this video?
No.
I will list every game that I found in a 30-minute period that we didn't mention that is considered a live service game. If you've heard about that game and you want to check it out, go ahead. And Steve, stop me if you want to talk about any of these games quick. All right. We have Godfall, which is a newer game coming still. I don't believe it's out. It might be out, but it's coming. And then we've got, we didn't talk about the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 is kind of planning a live service development in the future. We talked about Hitman and Warframe. I guess MOBAs like Dota 2, League of Legends. We talked a little bit about. They're very live service. We talked about things like Warzone. We didn't talk about Warzone specifically, or Counter-Strike Go even, but they are definitely live service. We talked a little about Fortnite, which Warzone kind of falls into that. But I'd say the Call of Duty franchise in general is a live service game, right? Like they just kind of update their gaming style and release a new game, which is what makes it not a live service game. But the games don't differ far too much.
For the most part,
and Counter-Strike, yeah, for the most part. And every other year maybe. But and there's 2 different teams, and each one of those teams has a style that they really master. Mm-hmm. And then those are the differences you get. Counter-Strike Go is a pretty well received game, but I don't know that it's much of a live service game. Overwatch, that's one we missed in Blizzard. Not really live service either to me, but then we talked about everything else that I've listed or found, and there's obviously more games out there that are live service.
the way that I read this list is like side effects may include Godfall, Anthem, Red Dead Online, Ark, Rust.
Yeah, right. Division 2, ESO 76, Avengers. Oh, we didn't talk about that. Marvel Avengers is it didn't get received very well.
It's a game.
It has potential though, so people are pulling out hope. Square Enix is known for taking games that didn't launch well and updating them now, because like what was it? They did the Final Fantasy, was it 14 or 15 that was online? And they updated that quite a bit until it became something pretty good.
You know how many Final Fantasy games I've played?
0.
One. It was the Chocobo one on the PS1.
That's great. Yeah. I didn't play a single one until, mentioned him earlier, Tyler was playing 12, I think it was. And it got me curious. And then by the time I was ready to buy one, they changed the fight style. So you're no longer doing the turn-based.
Right.
I am playing through 7 still. I pick it up every once in a while, very rarely, but it's fun. I never played the original, so I don't have any nostalgia for it. So whatever.
Right.
That's a weird one too. The way they're releasing that, I don't know if that I would consider that live streaming or live service, but like, you know how they're doing like,
I would chapters
kind of again. Yeah. You know, $40 I think it is they're charging every time a chapter comes out.
Right.
Releasing it on Sony first and then releasing it everywhere else later. Yeah. Well, I say we close the case and we sell this to the client.
Sell it to the client. Well, back to our GTA conversation.
Yeah, right. No, this is a complete in box, is what I'm saying, my friends. So if you wanna keep seeing videos like this, please let us know. We'll like it, subscribe it, leave a comment down below of what your opinion of live services are and how they're affecting the.
Most YouTubers don't mention this, but go ahead and dislike it too if you don't like it. It's not gonna hurt our feelings.
If you don't like it,
you're a prick.
Ahead. Yeah. In fact, I would love it if my dislike ratio was like awful. Yeah, it'd feel great because at least people are watching. You know, I know people are watching. You can hate all you want.
Right.
Anyway, like, dislike, subscribe, share, comment, whatever you want to do. Just, you know, take this video and crumple it up in a ball and eat it. I don't care. Do what you want to do. And we'll see you. Oh yeah, but buy it physically.
Yeah. Buy physical.
Are we gonna have to, dude? We might have to do a physical release of Skorne's Lair eventually.
Not sure how that would work, but
I'm not saying it would sell. I'm just saying we're all like buy physical. You know, like
it's just a disc, not even a case or anything.
It's not even a case. It's just like those yellow sleeves that GameStop sells.
This indeed is complete in box because there is no fucking box.
Yeah, right. It never came with one. All right, guys. Thanks, friends, for watching. We'll update you next week on what's new and all that. Thanks very much.